Alright, this video is going to be pretty quick because I'm in a rush to get out the door to go pick up my nephew and mom to take them to the park. But my mom wanted her chunk bar that she got cut up into smaller, more manageable pieces, and I noticed a few people bought these, so this might actually be helpful for a couple other people as well. You can use the chunk hole, but sometimes it's easier to cut it up into smaller pieces, whether it to be put into gas bathrooms or to be used by younger children or in the kitchen. So I'm going to cut it up. There's no wrong way to cut it up as far as sizes and shapes, but I asked her which way she wanted it cut, so that's the way I'm going to cut it. So here we go. All right, how to cut a chunk bar. What you're going to need: your chunk, a cutting board, and a sharp knife. So what I do is I open my chunk. Chunk is open. Okay, I lay it flat on the cutting board and then I pop it in my microwave for 15 seconds. And then once that 15 seconds is over, I will flip it to the other side and cook it again for 15 seconds. And then I usually try to see how it feels at that point. Sometimes what I will do is I will stand it on its side as opposed to flat for another 5 seconds, and then if it still feels a little bit like it's not going to cut that well, I will flip it over and do the other 5 seconds. Alright, so now we have our heated chunk, and it is pretty warm to the touch, and like I said, it's 15, 15, 5, 5. So then you just are going to cut it. So I'm going to cut it straight down the middle, and once you have it heated, it should cut pretty much like butter. And then I'm going to cut it this way as well. Okay, and now you take your chunk bar and you have 4 way more manageable pieces for the shower or the bath or whatever that you use. If you wanted them even smaller, you could do that. You could cut them into slices this way, almost like we sampled them out. But this way, my mom now has 4 more manageable chunks, and it took, what, less than a minute? Alright, I was going to add this onto the end of my cutting a chunk video. This is a sample of our gender bender chunk bar. It actually broke, so I'm not going to sample this one out. So I was going to show you guys how easy it was to get a lather out of our chunk bars. So I'm going to take one of the pieces that broke off. It's pretty small. Start running the water. I'm just going to start rubbing it in my hands. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but I mean, you can get a pretty good lather out of even the tiniest little piece of our chunk bars. And that's why when we sample these out, we can sample them so small, and you can still get a really good feel for how the bar feels, how it makes your skin feel, and if you use it 2 or 3 times, maybe how it even makes your skin feel over time. So that is, oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is, say you don't like to use just a bar of soap, or you like to use a washcloth or a loofah or something like that. Our chunk bars lather up with a loofah really, really well. I actually use it with a loofah as well. And now that my hands are nice and clean, guess what I'm going to use? One of our Big Fat Yummy hand creams, and my favorite is a little snarky. So if you haven't tried our chunk bars or our hand creams, give them a try. If you need any help ordering or any help with suggestions on maybe scents that you might like, just drop me a line.